Hi, my name is Lucas Ho. I am an associate artist with Checkpoint Theatre. I work primarily as a playwright. To date, Checkpoint has staged 3 of my plays, Frag O, The Heart Comes to Mind and Tender Submission. I also direct and do dramaturgy, and I've also run and devised the AEP programs for Checkpoint Theatre. AEP stands for Arts Education Program. It is an initiative by the NAC where artists and artist educators get to go into schools to run workshops and impart skills to students with regards to art making and theatre making. Students nowadays read a lot of play texts in their classroom, but their teachers also want them to understand how it can be presented on stage. So that's where we step in. Aside from AEP, we also run workshops for the public. We've run a workshop for 4 to 11-year-olds on the building blocks of telling a story. I think our AEP programs and our public workshops are just as important as the plays that we stage, because we are helping Singaporeans tell Singapore stories, and we're helping and encouraging everybody to listen to each other better. What other emotions do we know?
Scared.
Scared.
Worried.
Worried.
Alex, your happy face and your angry face are exactly the same.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne. I'm an associate artist at Checkpoint Theatre. They have produced my audio experience, A Grand Design, podcast Vulnerable, and also my upcoming work, Playing with Fire. I'm also an educator with them, hosting public workshops, and have run different NAC AEP programs with my work. Some of the workshops that we have done include me performing some of the readings I have for previous work, and the students discussing the content and also the creation of the work. Doing this allows them to bridge the gap between the text and the staging and gives them a more intimate feel of the work itself. Hosting workshops like these are extremely important because they help kids build life skills like creativity, problem solving, and creative thinking that help them in not just the arts but in any industry they choose to go into. It's actually part of my practice to educate people using the arts by mixing different mediums together, different topics and themes, in order for them to think critically and have new perceptions about the world.
Your self-portrait. Draw yourself.
I am Dana Lam, and I am an associate artist with Checkpoint Theatre. My journey with Checkpoint began with Still Life, the autobiographical play. And most recently, we produced the visual journal, The Art of Being a Grandmother, an incomplete diary of becoming. I am currently running workshops with Checkpoint Theatre. So the workshops are a great way for me to keep in touch with the practice, as well as sharing some of the excitement of the craft, especially with people who have not had the opportunity. So this is a drawing workshop. Basically, we are just doing exercises which allows us to use our hands and our minds and to make that connection with our memories.
It's a good question. And it's a question I think all actors actually go through, right? Connecting with the character.
Hi, my name is Adib Kosnan. I'm a theatre maker and educator, and I'm also an associate artist with Checkpoint Theatre. I wrote and performed in Keluarga Besar Encik Karim. I also performed in Frag O by Lucas Ho, and most recently in Brown Boys Don't Tell Jokes by Marian Tay. I'm also an educator, and I help to develop the AEP programs with the Checkpoint Education team. For the dramatized readings, what we normally do is we introduce the audience to a script from the Checkpoint collection, and we read excerpts from it with professional actors. And these dramatized reads give an insight into how we develop stories, how we run a rehearsal space with the performers, and also after the dramatized reads, we have a space where the audience can ask as many questions as they like about the process, about theatre, about the scripts. And also we get to share the process that not many people get to see if you're not in a rehearsal space. I think in these workshops, the idea of creating through text, creating through drama, games, creating through stories is something that I really enjoy doing. I think both these workshops, and especially the dramatized reads, help to reaffirm that actually all of us have stories, and that Checkpoint is a purveyor of original Singapore stories that come from people who live here, who experience life with the people that the students or the audience actually know.
Please consider donating to Checkpoint Theatre so that more people can learn more about the arts and more audiences can experience and be inspired by Singapore stories.
Please consider donating to Checkpoint Theatre so that more people can experience original Singapore stories and express themselves through the arts.
Please consider donating to Checkpoint Theatre so that more people can experience original Singapore stories and discover something about themselves.
Please consider donating to Checkpoint Theatre so everyone can experience and be inspired by an original Singapore story and learn more about the arts in Singapore.